Hello, my name is Brad Wagner and I'm the Director of Product Strategy here at VisionCore, and it's a role in which I get to speak with quite a few VMware customers and be able to hear what their needs are, what their pains are, and how their experience with their adoption of virtualization has been going, and to be able to listen and take back that feedback and look to create products or add features to our products that address those needs that the customers have. And one of the things that I hear very consistently from those customers is to be able to share more of what those experiences are with people that are less far along the virtualization adoption curve, or through opportunities like this here to share in brief clips different things that we see as being more common themes or more common trends that we see. And the one that I want to talk to you about today is one that is pretty detrimental to organizations when it occurs to them, but isn't something that they typically anticipate before it happens. How many of you have just one key person in your organization that's responsible for the architecture and the detailed diagnostics in your organization where it comes to your virtualization? A lot of organizations have several admins that are using the GUI interface to be able to do the day-to-day tasks of administering their virtualization, but who is the person that they call when they run out of things to try to be able to diagnose a solution? And the answers that I've gotten from that have been pretty amazing to me, and that is that almost without exception every organization has one key guy or maybe 1.5 key guys that are really important to their organization and their adoption of virtualization. And that half person is typically just an admin that has more information than some of the others, but isn't nearly as skilled as that primary person. And you can kind of see that that would create a little bit of a risk, because what we've seen occur in some of these organizations that are sharing this with us is that when this key guy leaves to go to work in another organization that may be starting a fresh virtualization in a greenfield setting that's attractive, that this new organization is very interested in succeeding with their virtualization endeavor, and so they're very commonly offering a substantial raise in salary and other types of benefits to this employee when they come into that company. And it's really making it an easy choice for this person to leave the organization based off of what's in his best interest, but really leaves a gap over here on this other side where that person is now gone. And so it makes it very difficult, for them when they weren't anticipating this change to be able to bring somebody else up to speed quickly. And typically they'll see increased downtime or increased time to resolve critical issues in their environment. And when I talk to those leaders in those IT organizations and try to discuss with them what they think are options of how they might be able to avoid that impact to their organization, they typically discuss 3 different areas with me. One is better documentation, to where there is something, a wealth that somebody else is able to go back to be able to see what that looks like in the organization. But they point out that IT people aren't typically very motivated to create that documentation or to be able to spend the time cross-training other people in their organization. And so typically that's how they wound up in that spot to begin with. The second one is to have better automation of their environment to where more of the steps are able to be produced in an automated fashion. And the third area that they tell us is to move more of that critical knowledge that was in that person's head into more intelligent tools that are able to be used in their environment. And that's something that we take to heart and have really made a key part of our creation of our products and the features that we put in them. And so I wanted to share with you a few of those to where you can see a little bit of where we're going with that. The first one is in a product called vFoglight. And what vFoglight does for us is provides much more intelligence and understanding about that virtualization environment to the people that are in that organization in a way to where they don't have to have quite as much skill to be able to manage that. Through things like more intelligent alerts that include best practice guidance and advice on what to do about those alarms have been very helpful in newer people to virtualization or people without as much experience being able to respond more quickly and more knowledgeably to what's going on in their environment. Through things like capacity planning and forecasting, when events would happen, like running out of storage in your environment or presenting more accurate information about capacity, CPU and memory growth over time. Those types of things really make vFoglight a very useful product in those organizations to be able to answer that need. The second one is in a product called vOptimizer, which takes exactly what we're talking about to heart, that says here is a process for reclaiming storage or growing storage in an environment that allow you to do that in an automated fashion in a way that's not putting your data at risk in ways that are able to be done by less skilled admins without having to know as much detail about the environment and how to make that work. And finally, each of our products that we create, we really try to bring to market products that have a true download and go experience that make it to where the products are easy to install and easy to use to even less skilled admins in the environment, to where you don't have to have this extremely knowledgeable guy present in every organization to be able to be successful. So our tools like vRanger Pro that does backup, or vReplicator that is our DR solution, and vControl that introduces more automation into the environment, all of them are much more simple to install and to configure and to be able to run on a day-to-day basis. So these are things that we wanted to share with you today about this key risk of having too much knowledge and experience invested in a single individual, and ways to be able to introduce intelligent tools into your environment to be able to make that knowledge more available to all of your admins. Thanks a lot for taking the time.